Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Here we are for another Prayer for Peace program. Yes, prayer is so important in our lives, and here we are. Today we have a very special message directly from the book Our Daily Bread, psychographed by our dear Chico Xavier by the Spirit Emmanuel. The message tonight is number 131, titled The World and Faith. Emmanuel starts by quoting with a quote from Mark chapter 15, verses 32. Let the Christ, the King of Israel, come down from the cross so that we might see and believe. And Emmanuel explains, because there are very few people capable of truly understanding pure faith is in its essential character. We need those who have offended Christ in order to confirm him. The miracle mentally has always swum on the surface of the senses without reaching the realm of the eternal spirit. And if it does not achieve its unworthy purpose, it degenerates into scornful challenges. In the case of the Master, these remarks do not stem solely from the mob. Mark states that the chief priests and the scribes who took part in insulting Jesus, as if to say that intellectuality does not imply spiritual development. The offenders remain deaf to the good news of the kingdom, blind to the benefits they received, and insensitive to the loving touch that Jesus had directed to all hearts. They were only looking for a spectacle. If Christ would come down from the cross, as if by magic, all the problems of their inferior belief would have been resolved. However, Jesus gave them no other response than silence, giving them to understand that the magnitude of his gesture was inaccessible to their childish purpose. If you are a sincere disciple of the gospel, do not forget that even today the situation is not much different. Work consciously in the service of faith. Unite with the Lord. Give all you can in His name and continue working to extend the good, knowing that the vast, unresolved world will only ask you maliciously for distraction and silence. Friends, that is the message of tonight. Talking about our faith in the world. This message, although psychographed by Chico Xavier many years ago, it's so timely to our planet right now. Isn't this true, friends? People sometimes look at us, if we are sincere disciples of Jesus, if we're working in Spiritism, if we are dedicated, and as they did to Jesus, they say, how come you work so much? You dedicate so much time to this, but look at your life. Look at the problems, the challenges that you have. Friends, this is exactly what happened to our Master Jesus. This is exactly what happened to Chico Xavier, this great medium that came to earth, someone who psychographed more than 500 books, that wrote and brought so many letters to console hearts, that helped, that gave himself. People will come to Chico Xavier and they will look at him and they would not understand him. He had challenges in his family. He had physical illnesses, but he stayed faithfully on the cause. And him, friends, is an example for all of us. Of course, our dear Master Jesus is our guide and model, but we need to look at these examples because that is exactly the message. Talking about the world, what the world says, and our faith. Friends, throughout the Spiritist literature, we see that those who follow Christ will not be understood, they will be persecuted. Nowadays, maybe not physically, but people inside the own home, the own family, will confront the followers of Christ. They will not be understood. But that is exactly the message. Friends, if we follow what society says, what do the world sells to us right now? You need to work. You need to go home. You need to enjoy yourself. You work so hard. You need to have fun, right? And we're not judging, but we're just analyzing. People go from work to home and home to work, planning the next trip, thinking about spending their money, the house that they will buy, the car that they will purchase. But, friends, is this what life is all about? Or are we here to go the next step? Because that is what society says. And we have many examples on Emmanuel's and André Louis' books. One of the most striking is in the book 2000 Years Ago by Emmanuel. If you haven't read this book, friends, it's a must read. We're in the summertime. If you're looking for a summer book, what a wonderful book. In that book, we get to know the story, and I'm not going to spoil to you, but the main character, one of the main characters, is Publius Lentus, a very well-known senator in the Roman Empire. In the eyes of the world, and you can read in the book, Publius Lentus was applauded by society. People thought that he was doing great. But we get to know through the book that he missed the biggest opportunity. He actually had the opportunity to meet Christ in the flesh. He met Christ still when he was incarnated on earth. And Master Jesus called him because he knew the talents that he had, that we all have. It's not because Publius Lentus was special. As we read and we always repeat, many are called, but few are chosen. Few actually make the choice. And Publius Lentus had the same opportunity that we have. He was called personally by Jesus, as we all are. But he didn't want to give in. He didn't want to renounce his title, in the society. What would people think if he followed the Nazarene? And then, friends, you can read in the book and in the following novels by Emmanuel, you get to know later that Publius Lentus is actually one of Emmanuel's reincarnations himself. So we get to know that Publius Lentus made his choice, but that will take him many, many years to have the same opportunity again to walk side by side by Christ. So, the message tonight, friends, is calling us to stop, think, analyze our lives. What are the choices we're making? As Emmanuel said in the message, we will come across people who will not understand us, people who will look at us and they will say, how come you do this, that, and the other, but look at your life? People that will be challenging us, that would require our understanding. We know that there are no victims. There is a reason why those people might be in our way, in our path, but it's on us, friends. When we get back to the spiritual realm, we will not be able to say, oh, but I did this because my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my wife, my husband, my children. No, we will be the ones accountable for our choices. But Emmanuel says, this is his recommendation, and we will read again. If you are a sincere disciple of the gospel, do not forget that even today, the situation is not different. So he's saying, don't expect the world to applaud you. Don't wait, he's saying, for Spiritism in the teachings of the Christ to be spread out around the world for us to do our part. No, he says, work consciously in the service of faith. Faith, friend, this unshakable faith that Jesus taught us, that in the hardest moments, he raised himself in prayer and say, Father, please forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. So when this happens to us, we don't need to say anything. We just pray and we say, God, please forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. And then what do we do next, friends? Emmanuel says, unite with the Lord. Yes, that's the unshakable faith. We say, we trust you, God. Your strength is within me. I am love. I am light. We are your creation. Give all you can in his name. Everything. Yes, that's the call, friends. Yes, give of ourselves. We don't just go there to do the bare minimum and go out thinking, oh, I checked the box, I'm good. And I can go home and continue my life as nothing is happening, as if I have not read all these books. That is not coherent. It's either serving, as we learn in the Gospel according to Spiritism, God or Mammon. Who are we following? And he says, and continue to work to extend the good, knowing that the vast, unresolved world will only ask you maliciously for distraction and signs. Friends, the passage today is exactly what is written in the Gospel according to Spiritism about serving God or saving mammon. We cannot have two lords in our lives. The world has Emmanuel brings to us will give us what? Distractions. They will come like the call and lure us in. But if we have this unshakable faith, we'll say, I've done that, been there, done that for many lives. This life, I choose different. People might not understand me, they might not comprehend me, but I will stay strong. How can we stay strong, friends? Not thinking with the eyes of the physical plane. Because if we look only with the eyes of the physical plane, we'll look at our lives and we'll say, yes, I do need that next vacation. I do need that trip. I do need that other car. I do need to buy more, have more money, have more fame. I do need a promotion at work, that title. But what is God asking us? What is that we will acquire here that will be eternal? When we change the lens and we look at this life has a very short passing moment in our eternity, then we'll make decisions in our lives, we'll look at our lives different. It doesn't mean we'll not take the time that we need to rest, to take the vacation with the family. It doesn't mean that we'll not seek that promotion at work if it will enrich us, if it will teach us new things. But that's not the goal. That is the difference, friends. The main goal, who is the Lord of our lives? If it's God, that is the main goal. And then we will make choices in our lives, but with a different lenses, the eternal lenses. That is the call for us tonight, to strengthen ourselves in this unshakable faith. Like a tree, friends, let us end with this, visualizing this in our lives. A tree strong, it has roots, it stays strong. The storms come, it stays strong. People come, they cut their branches, they might even kick it, scream at it, but the tree is there, strong. Deep roots, that is our unshakable faith. So let us stay thinking about this tree, friends, the tree of our faith, and let us now pray. Pray asking God to give us inspiration, to give us consolation, and to help those that are in need. We invite everyone to close their eyes. And let us now visualize our dear Master Jesus, our guide and model, the one who came to earth to exemplify to all of us how we can have this unshakable faith regardless of the challenges, of the shortcomings. Dear Master Jesus, We are so grateful that we have access to these blessed teachings, not because we are different than others, that we're special, but as you do with everyone, we have an opportunity to in this life know better, and knowing better to make better decisions. For many lives, dear Master Jesus, we have lived with the eyes of the physical body, thinking only about ourselves, our, our families, our needs. But in this reincarnation, we're called to change our perspective, to look at life beyond the physical body. We are called to live in the world, but not to be of the world. Yes, Master, you showed us that people will not understand us. They will be intrigued. There are those who will persecute us physically, emotionally, sometimes even inside our own homes. But as Emmanuel instructs us tonight, we ask you that we can have the strength to continue on the work, having you as our guide and model, showing the way. We pray for them, Master, because they truly don't know what they're doing, but we know better. And with that comes great responsibility. Dear Master Jesus, we pray for those who are at this very moment going through much difficulty, those who are feeling alone and desperate, those who cannot see a way out and are thinking about shortening their lives. We pray for those in prisons, refugee camps, shelters, those in the streets without a home, without a meal, without a warm bed to sleep in. We pray, Master, for our planet, so that we can strengthen ourselves, rebalance ourselves, harmonize ourselves, and redirect ourselves to you. And with much, much gratitude in our hearts, dear Master Jesus, we ask your permission to close these prayerful moments of tonight. And so be it. Dear friends, what a blessing to be here together to pray. Let us stay strong. Let us stay connected. Here at Kardec Radio, we have programs 24/7 to truly nourish our souls, to open our eyes. If you have any questions, write to us at kardecradio@gmail.com. And we're gonna see you here tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another prayer for peace. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, friends, whenever you are. Bye bye.